Hey guys, welcome to the guide. This episode, we're talking about the dude named Peppermint. Now, like, this guy, he particularly annoyed me. Particularly annoyed me. It takes a lot to get under my skin, but, like, this guy, yeah, he particularly annoyed me. Like, first off, he claimed he was from Continental, you know? And, like, so, I got fired from Continental. Pretty much is what happened. So, me being me, I go find and, like, talk to the old Continental guys who are working at Southwest now because, like, when the United Continental merger happened, all of us Continental contractors got the boot, and pretty much we had to go find a new job. And I knew that anyways from, like, I saw that coming a mile away, so I didn't really care when I got fired. That's part of the reason I got fired, because I was making such a big stink about that. But anyway, so I go off and I talk to him, right? And I'm like, hey, do you guys know this Peppermint guy? And they just look at me. They're like, no, who's Peppermint? Who's Peppermint? And then they think about it for a little while, and they're like, oh yeah, he was a cleaner. We let him come down for like the last 2 weeks of the contract because the United cleaners came over and took over the Continental cleaning, so we let him come down and work the ramp for like the last 2 weeks of it. And they were like, oh, we were fucking asses to him. And I was like, oh, so he's a fucking cleaner. That's what he is. Oh, and he's over here claiming he was like some great big ramper over at Continental. So like that was like number one thing about him that I was just like, you're a bitch. You're a poser bitch. That's what you are. And then like this guy was lazy. I mean, like super lazy. He was like the definition of a fake tough guy, you know? He'd be like, oh yeah, I'm the biggest badass on the ramp. And like, cause I met him whenever I was working for Spirit, you know? This is when I first got on with DGS, and I was like working with Spirit Airlines. And that contract was awesome at the beginning. Let me tell you, I love that contract. For like the first 2 years, we had a morning shift and we had a night shift, right? And like each shift only did 4 planes. So, like, we would show up, we would work 3 planes, and then we would sit around for a couple hours, and then, you know, we would work 1 more plane, and then we were done, and we were out of there. Like, that job was awesome at the beginning. But anyways, like, this guy just bugged the shit out of me. Because he was just like, oh, I'm so badass, look at me. But, like, you couldn't get him into the pit at all. You know, like, the pit is where you put the bags on the belt loader, they go up into the plane, and then you got like 2 dudes stacking in the pit. You know, that's like where the hard work is at in the airline industry, is in the pit of the aircraft. And like you couldn't get this guy up there at all. Like he would come up with so many excuses. All he wanted to do was clean, right? That's all he wanted to do was just be a cleaner. And like, all right, so if you're a cleaner and then you got like 6 gates to worry about, you're busting your ass. That's a hard job. But when you're a cleaner and all you got is 1 gate to worry about, 1 plane coming in at a time, that's a cakewalk. That is not a hard job at all. And that's pretty much what we had. We had 1 plane coming in and out at the same time. So I was just like, you're a fucking bitch. And he was super homophobic. I mean, super homophobic. Every other word out of his mouth was, that's gay, that's gay, that's gay. And, like, I went through the gay invasion of 2010, right? So, I don't really give a flying fuck. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You have no idea what gay is, okay? And, like, but all he did was clean. All he fucking did was want to be a cleaner. And he was that dude that, like, wanted to be a lead, right? Like, he demanded to be a lead. And that's the last guy you want to be a lead in the flight industry. The guy you want to be a lead in the flight industry is the guy that, like, wants nothing to do with it. That's the guy you want to be the lead. You want him to be in the leadership position. Because he's the guy, he doesn't want anything to do with it. He doesn't want the power. He doesn't want the prestige. He wants to avoid it as much as possible. That's the guy you want. You don't want the guy that's like, I demand to be a lead. And gets all butthurt about it if he doesn't, you know? And that was Peppermint. Like, he would get so butthurt. Because he was like the 3rd person they picked to be a lead. Like, everybody was like wanting me to be a lead, and I was like, yeah, right, I'm not sticking that noose around my neck. I eventually stuck that noose around my neck, and I highly regretted it. Like 2 weeks after I became the lead, I was like, why did I do this? Let me out of this right now. But anyways, like that. But he was like, he demanded to be a lead, and I was like, oh god. But yeah, he would go upstairs and like he'd clean and he'd be hitting on flight attendants because he was all trying to show everybody his mad game and shit. And like at that point in time in my life, I didn't really care. I was like, yeah, okay, dudes. I did that like 5 years ago, little guy. Okay, get out of here. Get out of here. So you know he's all upstairs and he's all like trying to be Mr. Macho Man, you know, and like I'm just looking at him like oh, you're just a fucking cleaner, dude. Get the fuck out of here. And eventually, him and a flight attendant start talking. And like she gives him a hug, so he's all like, oh, "I got a hug from her, guys. I got a hug from her." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that doesn't mean shit." So like he keeps bugging me and bugging me and bugging me and bugging me, and there's this point particularly in one flight where he's upstairs trying to hit on this flight attendant, and like the jet bridge is ready to go, the plane's all buttoned up, we're just waiting on him to stop talking to her so we can push the stupid plane out. And like, but he's just sitting up there, and like they're talking for 5 minutes. We're about to take a delay, so I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like, oh fuck this. So I'm just like, hey, when you're done trying to get your dick wet, we're trying to push a plane back here. Oh yeah, and like everybody in the aircraft heard it. Because I can make my voice project when I want to. And he fucking looks at me and he goes beet red because he gets super embarrassed over shit. And he's a stutterer, so like whenever you put him in a corner like that, he doesn't know what to do. And the flight attendant's staring at me and she was pissed at me. And I'm just sitting there dying. Oh, that was a good day.